When the badge turns silent, the body cam speaks. Citizen rights violated.
This episode is brought to us by Kernow Audit. Be sure to check the link below and subscribe to his channel and give him the credit he deserves. In this episode, Auditor Kernow Audit is out working with a colleague when the police show up after a resident reports someone suspicious simply because he didn't look like he belonged. Despite doing nothing wrong, officers fixate on ID, ignore his rights, and unlawfully detain him. But Kernow doesn't back down. He takes them to court.
Is that your badge number?
Well, I hope it is.
Let's
Take a photograph of it, please.
Yeah. Just wondering. I've got to prove it. Obviously, I don't know you from Adam. You could be someone just who's
Well,
dressed up
we're not
as a
going to do
copper.
this for fancy dress, are we? Right. As my colleague explained,
Yeah.
the reason why we stopped you is because you put the description of somebody acting suspiciously. Right? Now, you've given a legitimate reason why you're here.
Yeah.
Right. But we need to see some ID and some proof that you are here legitimately.
No, I understand
Can we
that.
see that, please?
I understand that, but on another term, I have actually got human rights.
Is that your vehicle there?
Nope.
Okay. So, what form of identification have you got on you to say you're actually canvassing?
I've got ID on me, but I don't have to legally show it yet because I've not committed a crime.
Right.
Obviously, if you
We've got a report.
We've had a phone call about, like, said it's suspicious male, so we need to ascertain whether you are, you say you are, but I take it you're not going to give us your name.
I get this
How
every
can we
week.
verify? Yeah, but you've got to appreciate we get calls from members.
No, I understand that, but I'm doing a
saying-
job. I'm paying me taxes. I'm earning money.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand. I have not
If
committed
you
a crime.
were calling us, surely you'd want us to follow it up, wouldn't you? That's why we've been sent here, to follow it up. We want to be rest assured when we leave here today that you're not up to anything suspicious.
Suspicion based only on a vague phone call without any real evidence of a crime is not a lawful reason to detain someone or demand their ID. The officers claimed that they needed to confirm who the auditor was is concerning, especially since the auditor never gave a false name or tried to hide his identity. The auditor was simply using his legal right to refuse an ID check because there was no reasonable suspicion of a specific crime. Under UK law, you do not have to provide identification unless you are being lawfully detained for clear legal reasons, such as suspicion of a criminal offense, which the officers could not properly explain here. Trying to uncover someone's identity based on an unclear third-party report can lead to profiling and misuse of authority, especially when no wrongdoing has taken place.
I understand it in that way, but I'm not.
Your name gives you ID. We could ring SafeStar, say, and confirm.
Well, you can ring SafeStar and you
this.
can ask them if you've got canvases in this area and you'll validate who I am.
And what's your
But
name?
obviously, I'm not giving it out.
Well, when I ring up SafeStar UK
verify
and
you
say
are
you've got
then.
canvassers and they say yeah,
They know I'm in this office. They know I'm around here. Because we get issued to a certain area and they keep both names of the people.
so where's your ID card?
It is on me, but I don't have to show it. I've not committed a crime.
We're going round in circles here, aren't we, chap?
No, I don't mean human rights, mate. I've not committed a crime. Obviously, you're putting me under alarm and distress now. You both cover it going round me. Obviously, you're trying to say that I have to show my ID.
You're putting me under alarm and distress.
How am I?
You are ID. We've shown you our ID. So,
Yeah, but end of the day, you're a public servant.
Instead of accepting that the auditor had a legal right to refuse giving ID without suspicion of a crime, the officers kept pressuring him. They even strangely claimed that he was causing them harassment, alarm, and distress, which is both ironic and worrying. It makes little sense for trained officers who have authority and protection to say they feel distressed simply because someone calmly stands up for their rights. One officer tried to defend the situation by saying, "We've shown you our ID," but that misses the point. The real issue is that they kept demanding his personal details without any legal reason. By doing this, they tried to make themselves look like the victims, when in reality, they were the ones escalating the situation and harassing him. Their refusal to accept a lawful answer shows poor judgment and becomes an abuse of power.
Listen, chap. I may be a public servant, but I'm not your servant.
No, I didn't say you were my servant, did I?
Okay.
I said, but if you're walking around with a police uniform which gives you powers...
Stop going on about YouTube. It's like this public servant, okay? I'm not a servant. I'm a police officer.
Yeah.
Okay?
Which means, but you serve the public.
I'm a police officer.
Right.
Okay. Police officer. I'm not a servant.
Yeah.
So let's get that quite clear before we start.
Well, there's no need to get angry, is there? Because now you're putting me under alarm and distress. Now I feel threatened.
The officer's comment, "I might be a public servant, but I'm not your servant," shows arrogance and a sense of entitlement. It goes against the basic idea that police officers are meant to serve the public, not place themselves above others. By speaking this way, he reveals a misunderstanding of his role and an inflated view of his authority. This remark is even more troubling because it comes after repeated pressure, intimidation, and a refusal to respect the auditor's legal rights. The officer's tone is dismissive and confrontational, making it clear he feels superior rather than accountable. In that moment, he isn't just avoiding responsibility, he's rejecting the principles of fair and democratic policing. This has a strong emotional effect on the auditor, especially since he has done nothing wrong, and it adds to the stress and distress he is already experiencing.
What, you feel threatened?
Yeah, hence why I'm recording it, just in case anybody's trying anything cheeky.
That's fine.
I've had it before where police has thrown me on the floor for asking him, have you got ID?
So police officers thrown you on the floor?
Yeah.
And that's what I do.
I've asked him.
Very strange.
Well, not all coppers are legitimate, are they? Not all coppers are nice. So at this moment in time, am I detained?
Yes, you are.
What for? What am I being detained for? Have I committed a criminal offence? I've not committed a criminal offence. How can you detain me? Because then you're holding me hostage. You're now restricting my free way of movement because now you're saying I'm being detained for a crime I've not committed. I will just literally. I'll send this to me my lawyer, mate. This is going straight to my lawyer.
First things first, we're recording it.
Yeah.
Has it just picked up the word that you just said to me?
Yeah.
Right. This is your first and last warning. You swear at me again, you'll be arrested. Do you understand me?
Yeah, but I'm asking why am I being detained?
Listen to me. Are you going to listen?
I'll listen, but I want you to listen to my point of view.
You are being detained at this moment in time.
Yeah.
So we can speak to the caller.
Yeah.
Because as I said, you fit the description of a person seen acting suspiciously.
Yeah.
Right? Now, until we speak to the caller and fathom out what the caller says to us, you're not going anywhere.
Right, so you're detaining me against my own will from a crime that I've not committed.
This is a clear misuse of police power. Detaining someone without proper legal grounds just because they seem suspicious based on a vague description and no evidence of a crime is not only poor policing but also a serious violation of civil rights. The officer even admits the detention is based only on what a caller said and that the auditor will stay detained until they sort things out, but that is not how the law works. You cannot hold someone on a hunch or unclear suspicion without reasonable and objective justification. Under UK law, especially PACE, officers must have specific lawful grounds to detain a person, not simply because someone reported them as looking suspicious. In this situation, the officer is treating the auditor as guilty until proven innocent, which goes against the basic principles of justice.
Are you going to admit that now on camera, that you're detaining me when I've not committed an offence?
I'm detaining you till we speak to the caller.
Yeah.
See exactly what the caller says you have or haven't done.
Right, but technically you can't detain someone if they've not committed a crime, because then that's holding them against their own will.
Well, once we speak to the caller,
yeah, but now
the crime has been committed, then I'll tell you what's going to happen next.
So you're actually admitting you've illegally detained me for a crime I've not committed?
We haven't illegally detained you.
Well, if you've not detained me, then I'm free to go.
Tell you what, walk up there and we'll follow you then if you need to speak to you again.
But then it's harassing.
Off you go.
But then it's harassing.
It's not harassing.
No, what I'm saying is, if you'd like to leave,
Right.
if you'd like to leave now and walk whichever way you like, carry on. And if I need to speak to you at a different time, I'll come after you and have a word with you.
The officer's response is extremely poor and shows a serious lack of respect for proper legal procedure and individual rights. Instead of addressing the auditor's concern about being unlawfully detained, the officer casually says, "How about you walk away and we'll follow you," as if that solves the problem. In fact, it makes the situation worse. Following someone without legal justification can become a form of harassment, especially after the person has clearly stated they want to be left alone. What the officer is really suggesting is an unofficial stop, trailing the auditor in the hope of finding a reason to justify their suspicion later, rather than having lawful grounds in the first place. This is a clear example of intimidation-based policing. If an officer has no legal power to detain someone, then shadowing them under vague excuses is not only unreasonable, but also oppressive.
I'll just put a complaint in. I'll just put a complaint into IPCC.
That's fine. That's fine.
Because obviously you're legally detaining me for a crime I've not committed. So obviously, like I'm going to ask again, am I being detained for a crime? Because obviously now no one's answering. If I'm not being detained for a
I'm
crime...
just in the process of speaking to your manager.
Right.
If you'd like to walk away, you are free to walk away. And if that's detained as a crime, I will come after you, won't I? It's up to you, sir.
I'm not going to turn me back. I'm not going to turn me back on officers so you can body slam me.
Do what you'd like. I don't think I'm capable of body slamming.
Hey, there's police out there that body slam people for the fun of it.
When he's asked for an officer's ID.
So you've illegally detained me, you call me a liar. Yeah, but now you've also illegally detained me. So wait until IPC.
Twice I've said, if you'd like to walk away, walk away.
Well, just for the camera, have I been committed as a crime? Right, so I've not committed a crime, so... Well, you've given me permission to walk away. I'm not, mate. I'm not, mate. Now you're making lies about me. You've also illegally detained me, like I said before, when he says you're now detained. What for what crime? He couldn't give me a crime. So he's legally detained me on the spot. He's also kept me hostage. So I do know my rights, and this will be going to IPCC. I will be sent it to my law. I'll wait until it's all over line. I don't need the log number. I've got your badge numbers. Because I don't trust it. I don't trust the fact I can walk away with you.
Had you shown us your ID in the first instance, I don't think it would have taken this long. So when you're talking about being...
Yeah, but I don't have to show my ID if I've not committed a crime or I'm on suspicion of crime. I've not committed a crime. I'm working.
The office's comment that the situation would not have escalated if the auditor had simply identified himself shows a seriously flawed attitude. It wrongly places the blame on the auditor for standing up for his rights instead of on the officers for their poor handling of the situation. The auditor had not committed any crime, clearly explained that he was working, and calmly stated his legal position. Yet the officer treated his refusal to comply as the real problem. This reveals more of an ego issue than a lawful concern. The officer could not accept being told no. Instead of stepping back and reassessing the situation properly, they pushed harder and suggested the auditor was responsible for prolonging it. This kind of thinking is dangerous because it encourages officers to see lawful refusal as an excuse for detention or escalation.
If working's committing a crime, I'll just go and join benefits.
You could have ascertained your working 10 minutes ago and you could have gone on your way then, couldn't you? So
we'll have to go so we don't body
okay,
slam.
log.
So we don't body slam.
Before you get that urge.
Yeah. Okay. So, that's where I see it. Free to go, Sam?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for you to leave.
I took them to a criminal court and a civil court. At the criminal court, I was awarded £35,000 because of the incorrect ways and the way they did the jobs, which was performed illegally. Officer Stephen Haynes, PC Jarvis and PC Warwick. One of them was suspended for 2 months with further investigation. One of them was fired and the other one was given a slap on the wrist and was allowed to still do the job, but under investigation by their own force.
The £35,000 compensation payout shows just how serious the officer's misconduct was and how badly Kernow's rights were violated. Courts do not award that kind of money unless there has been a major breach of civil liberties. The fact that one officer was fired, another suspended, and a third placed under review makes it clear this was not a simple misunderstanding, but a serious failure within the police. From the start, the officers acted on a vague phone call and immediately demanded ID without any lawful reason. When Kernow calmly stood his ground and exercised his rights, they escalated the situation with detention and force, not because it was justified, but because they could not accept being told no. Their arrogant remarks and attempts to blame Kernow revealed an attitude of control rather than proper policing. In the end, their unlawful actions cost them legally, professionally, and reputationally. This case is a strong reminder that officers must follow the law and that the public should never be afraid to calmly assert their rights and document everything when authority is abused.